Classic Ford show is back. After a few-year hiatus for reasons that we won't mention, it's now at its new home at the South of England Showground in Ardingly. It's a beautiful day, as you can see, and today I'm going to take you for a walk around this show of some fantastic blue ovals. But first, our friends at Lancaster Insurance are running monthly giveaways. You can win all sorts, from experience days to tools, restaurant vouchers and tech. So check the video description for full details and to enter. And where better to start than with a car that you might well recognise, our gorgeous Mk3 Cortina headlining the Cortina versus Sierra display going on here. It's 60 years of the Cortina in 2022 and 40 of the Sierra, so we've brought together some gorgeous examples of both, as well as our 77 Mk3. We've got some lovely Mark 1s, a couple of Mark 2s down there, and around the back some lovely examples of Sierras, some XR4Is, a couple of more humble trim levels as well, just to celebrate many decades of these blue oval family favourites. Love them or hate them, the 80s are back, and we've got an 80s icons section here at Classic Ford Show, headlined by a car that you might also recognise, our Ford Orion that we sort of bought by accident. But it's not the only 80s hero here. We've got a Mark II Fiesta that you might recognise from our Belgian road trip video, a couple of Series 2 RS turbos, Capri, lovely Sierra Cosworth down there. The 80s was arguably peak Ford, certainly peak fast Ford, and we're celebrating it in spectacular style here at Classic Ford Show. This one isn't a fast Ford, but do rather like the old girl. So we're in the main hall here for the top 50 cars that have been handpicked by the editor of Classic Ford magazine, Simon Woolley, for just being particularly nice and particularly well done. And there are loads of gorgeous cars in here. There's a lovely two-door Granada over there, a Series 2 RS Turbo, there's a console Capri, loads of Escorts and Capris, naturally. But for me, the standout might be this, a Corsair GT, two doors, dark green, banded Lotus Cortina style wheels on it, and immaculate. Now, I love a Corsair, and this one is probably the nicest I've ever seen. Absolutely gorgeous, and I want it. There's a few Anglias to choose from here in the top 50, a couple of 100Es there, but this 105E stood out to me in a big way. It's got a 2-litre Duratec from a Focus ST170, 4-spoke Revolution style wheels. It's got some nice Recaros in it, harnesses, finished in a beautiful shade of blue. It's not standard, it's not for everyone, but it is definitely for me. Love it. There's a massive section at Classic Ford Show for the public to just display their own cars, and one that particularly stood out to me is this, a Mark III Escort gear. It's not an XR, it's not an RS Turbo, it's not the one that everyone lusts after, but it's also minty fresh. Beautiful metallic gold paint, brown velour interior, and a lovely brown leather Escort gear dash cover. It's the little details, even the chrome is in perfect condition. It's lovely, and it's the spirit that every blue oval is welcome here at Classic Ford Show. You think you recognise this, don't you? Mark III Cortina, right? Look again. It's a two-door coupe. This, as you might have seen in our Belgian road trip video, is a Taunus, the Euro version of what we call the Mark III Cortina. We never got this gorgeous fastback coupe version, let alone in this fantastic metallic red, but it looks stunning, and this is one of the biggest crowd pullers here. The amount of people that have stopped to take a photo just while we've been trying to film this is unbelievable. It's stunning, and as much as I love ours, this one is just on another level. Adore it. Fast forwards old and not quite so old here with an RS 2000 flanking a Mk3 Fiesta Z-Tech S, but what's got more attention is this, an immaculate Sierra gear. This thing is flawlessly clean, it looks like it's just rolled out the Ford showroom, and it's got some lovely champagne flutes in the back to toast 40 years of the Sierra. No better way to celebrate. One of the best things about offering a campsite at a show, like we've done with Classic Ford Show this year, is that even that produces some great sights. Look, pair of Mark II Escorts, Sierra Sapphire that might even be a Cosworth by the looks of things. That alone would be cool to see, and this is just the campsite. Love them or hate them, Capris are a staple of the Classic Ford community. I'm not a huge fan, but this one is gorgeous. This incredible green, I'm afraid I don't know what shade it's called, but it's been dressed up in the style of the American Mustang Boss 302 with an enormous V8 under the bonnet, those nice sidewinder stripes down it, these beautiful wheels. The Capri was the European Mustang, and this one is as close to a European Mustang as it's possible to get. The Mk3 Fiesta is fast acquiring classic status in the Ford world, and there's three fine examples here on the Mk3 Fiesta Owners Club stand. Lovely RS Turbo, ex-British Airways van at the back there, and one that's been lowered on lovely three-spoke wheels that will be a perfect classic daily driver. It was kind of a cheap banger for years, but now the Mk3 is well into classic territory. Take your pick. It's not one of the classic Fords that gets all the headlines, but the Console Capri, for me, is one of the most gorgeous, properly classy bit of styling. This apes a bit of Americana. This one is in this lush sort of light green. It's just amazing, and it's tucked right down the back where you might not see it. It's proof you should always go right to the back of a car show, because sometimes that's where the gems are. Slightly annoyingly, there's a telegraph pole right in the middle of this shot, but these are two rare and slightly forgotten fast Fords that I couldn't not mention. A Fiesta Super Sport and a Sierra XR4. They don't get as much attention as the XR2 and the Cosworth respectively, but they've both got their place in Classic Ford history, and they both very much got their place at Classic Ford Show. This is way more than just Mark I Escorts. This show is awesome. So there we have it then, the end of Classic Ford Show 2022. This show has come to a whole new venue after being on hiatus for 3 years, and it's come back in spectacular style. Some incredible cars, some lovely people, and a great atmosphere. I hope this show continues for many, many years to come. We haven't managed to sell the Cortina, but that does at least mean that I'm leaving this show in my very own gorgeous Classic Ford. So thanks for watching, we'll see you again soon. This video is proudly sponsored by Lancaster Insurance. Give them a call on 01480 400 889 for an insurance quote on your classic car. And don't forget to click the link in the video description to enter their latest competition.